So I'm pretty excited this morning. I just had a public transport trip from the secret location hideout in Cornwall all the way to the centre of Dartmoor, and I'm at a place called Powder Mills. I've just jumped off the bus. It's taken me 3 bus trips and a ferry to get from the secret location, secret hideout, and it's taken me a few hours. I left at about 5:30 this morning, and it is 9:45. But I am here at Powder Mills. Been meaning to get this area on video. I've camped all around it in some of my other videos, but I've never ever stopped here at Powder Mills. And I come here every September, October, every year religiously. I absolutely love it out here. This is Powder Mills. It's an old Victorian gunpowder factory. The buildings we walked past earlier is like a youth centre. They do like camping and do young people's activities out here in the moors. So and I come out here every year. I come out here regularly every year because it's great for foraging. It's a really nice place to be, and I've never camped here until tonight, if I stay out for a camp, that is. And I can get here using public transport, which I think is absolutely amazing, as I don't drive. Sun's coming out, and what a place this is in terms of like just scenic, bit of antiquity. I can hear a river in the background, and I'm surrounded by these ruins. And I'm just going to chill out for the day and enjoy the peace and quiet. It's a weekday as well, so there's going to be no video around. I've just spent about a couple of hours down here foraging, and I'm going to come back down here to camp just because it's a cool place. And I'm headed north out of this gate, which is being guarded by a group of ponies. 4.5 months it's been since I cut my hair, and I keep putting it off. Lucy keeps telling me, don't cut your hair down, and I haven't, but it's a bit of a mess. Anyway, I've picked my camping spot. I've walked full circle and ended up back at the Powder Mills. And here's another part of the site that's ruined. There's another chimney here just above me. This is where they sort of process the saltpeter, the potassium nitrate, and the sulfur and the charcoal, which is required to make gunpowder. Anyway, so this is where I'm going to set out camp, in amongst these ruins. Hopefully I'll get a bit of sun in the evening and in the morning, and I'm going to chill out here, and I'm probably going to record some of my thoughts, my latest thoughts on the current state of play in UK and global politics. So I've got my tent set up. This is my 5th and final tent, and Lucy does pull her hair out, and I got it's not a 4-season tent, it's almost a 4-season tent for the more difficult weather conditions on Dartmoor. So yeah, I'll just show you it. My Pioneer Compact 2, and I have a 1-man, I have a 2-man, which are both bomb-proof. I have a really high-quality 3-man tent and a trekking pole tent, and then this one, which is my personal tent, which I'm hoping will deal with the harsher conditions of Dartmoor. And there's nothing special about it, apart from it's made by Terra Nova, which is supposed to be a good make, and it's got really, really high quality materials. You know, it's got a high waterproof rating. So anyway, that's what I'm sleeping in tonight. And if you want to see what's going on barefoot, did a bit of grounding right underneath an old chimney, which is amazing. And this is the view that I'm going to wake up to in the morning. And it's about 6 o'clock at the moment. The cows will not shut up. Non-stop. I've been on Twitter. I'm in a tent in the centre of Dartmoor. And I'm on Twitter, tweeting and looking at what's going on in the news. Hugh Edwards got a suspended sentence for having and dealing in child pornography, some of which was the absolute worst type. Yeah, babies and stuff. Suspended sentence. I could get in trouble for the things that I might say in the coming few minutes and get a longer sentence than that. Crazy. Yeah. Tells you all you need to know about the mainstream media, BBC, all of them in that world. Yeah. In that elite world. They're all pedos. Yeah, that's why they're there. Yeah, they're all pedos because they're compromised and they're easy to control. Obvious. And when they get caught, they get a slap on the hand. Yeah, don't worry about it, you know. I mean, anyone seen Philip Schofield? What happened to him? He groomed and banged a child. Nothing. Probably getting a really healthy pension, just like Hugh Edwards. Paid for, of course, by the taxpayer. That's great, by the way. I get to just go and live in a tent whenever I want, which is pretty good, yeah? I have a girlfriend that says, go out and go in the tent, which is good. So, has Starmer been given permission yet? Yeah, has he been told? Has he been given permission by the US to give permission to Zelensky to start firing and using British technicians and satellites and American and any other NATO country that's involved in the use of these long-range ballistic weapons because they think Putin's bluffing about his nuclear threat and this is a red line? We have to send our own military personnel and stuff. We have to use our military personnel in order to fire some of these weapons. They're not telling us that. Anyway, has Starmer been given permission yet? Because he seems like he's going to do it. I think he seems like he's going to go and disobey the Americans and just give Zelensky the authority anyway. I've just seen a clip of Boris saying, what are they waiting for? Bring them into NATO. It's like they're all suicidal. And I don't know why the Brits are like leading the charge, because we've got like 4 or 5 ships, about 40 tanks, handful of planes, and enough soldiers to fill up Wembley Stadium. Yeah, we would last no time in a proper confrontation with Russia. In a proper confrontation with Russia where we had to start sending all our troops and that. Let's just say we went all out for it. We'd last about a month. They'd just eat us up and keep coming. And then they would nuke us. Or maybe they'll just nuke us. We'll just do that first and not bother with all the fighting on the fields. We must be suicidal. And I often wonder whether the whole intention is just to destroy Britain, as it has been. You look at our navy, how it's just been whittled away over the last century, and maybe there'll be a confrontation with China or Russia or some other military with our navy to finally put it down to Davy's locker, and that would be the end of Britain, wouldn't it? Yeah, Britannia rules the waves no more. But that seems like the sort of suicidal intent that Starmer has, and Tony Blair's telling them, yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah, good idea firing long-range missiles into Russia. And the other thing they don't tell you is they're not actually even that long range. Like the Storm Shadows or whatever they're called, they're 150 kilometers. So it's just down the road, isn't it? It's like one of me and Lucy's walks. It's not that far. Yeah. Yeah. So, and the ATACMS that the Americans got, they're only 300 kilometers, but they can hit Moscow. It's the fact that we're using our military personnel and satellites and intelligence and reconnaissance and all the rest of it. That's the bit that they're not telling you that we're going to be giving to Ukraine, which matters, yeah, because Putin considers it an act of war. He says that is his red line, not Western made up red line that we say Putin made, and then we cross it and you go, oh look, he's bluffing. Yeah, they made up those red lines. Putin had a red line, and that's like, you don't fight us, you don't get involved with this conflict. And we have been. And now we might be pressing the button to send missiles and rockets into his territory. So I think it's all going to go very, very pear-shaped from here on in. And I hope you've all got a prep covered. Oh, and Trump, there's this Trump assassination attempt. That's just number 2. Will he make it? God knows. Yeah, but I mean, eventually, if they keep taking shots at him, if someone's even going to hit him, or Trump will be too frightened to come out. He'll have to, he'll have to, like, in one of those Pokemobiles, with, like, perspex screens all around doing stuff. Crazy times. It's about 8:30 in the morning, and I'm at Powder Mills, near Post Bridge, centre of Dartmoor. And just had a cup of coffee, let my tent dry out. I slept really, really well. I'm working on a new sleep system, and I'm not getting a really expensive sleeping bag. I've got a fairly inexpensive sleeping bag, and then just added loads of layers. So I'm using a couple of liners, and works out great. Yeah, layers is the answer. So I slept great last night, and it was quite cold. Condensation a problem again. And I'm going to head back through the mills, back to Post Bridge, and I'm going to decide whether I stay out another night or not, because I'm sort of quite tempted to at the moment. The weather's beautiful, and there's more walking to be had. On a day like this, why wouldn't I want to stay out another night? Yeah. And I'm geared up to as well, so as long as I've got my socks attached to the back of my backpack. So as long as I've got 2 pairs of socks there, they got wet yesterday. So hopefully if they get dried by the time I get to the Yelverton area, then I expect I'll just stay out another night. I've learnt so much actually here on Dartmoor in the last couple of days. Transport routes, new places to camp, areas of bog, yeah, because you need to avoid them, especially in the winter, because I mean they are dangerous. You can go up to your neck in them. That you don't need to be afraid of sheep, because they just run away. So and places where I can get food and water, so I don't have to carry that stuff with me, and lighten my pack. Because the winter pack at the moment is a bit heavy for me. Well, it's a bit heavy for my back, which is feeling it a little bit. So yeah, I've learnt loads, and it makes trips like this worthwhile completely. I'm also getting quite competent at navigating my way across the moors in the areas that I've examined and spent time in and camped in over the last 12 months. I cannot put it much longer than that. Over the last 12 months, without a map. I mean, right now I'm not even on a footpath, and I know where I am. I know where I'm going, exactly where I'm going, which is great, yeah. Because who knows when I might need to grab a Bergen and do a runner and go hiding somewhere, and you ain't finding me on Dartmoor. Not about dogs. And you might not have a map. You might need to go to places that are off the map, off the pathway to hide. Who knows what's coming down the line when the stat squads turn up from the Third World War. So I'm actually quite pleased with this, navigating from the centre of Dartmoor all the way back to the outskirts of Dartmoor without using the map once. I'm assuming these are the same people, guys. They've moved quick. I know I took a slightly longer route off grid, but they've moved quick. Interesting how the weather has turned out, isn't it? September, kids back at school, everyone's gone back to work, summer holidays are over, and we've got absolutely glorious weather, amazing weather. And I'm at Dartmoor again, and I'm passing through across the north side, and I've stopped here for about half an hour. Probably going to stay here for another half an hour or so. I'm staying out again tonight, so I'm not in a rush to get anywhere. And the weather is about 20 odd degrees, so I'm just chilling out here looking at that. And I'm not saying they're manipulating the weather. You do have to warn them. There is the timing. I can't even explain how beautiful it is around here. But this whole area needs to be investigated really thoroughly to find all the good spots. And this is one of them. I'm not alone either. And the moon is pretty crazy tonight. That's the moon. And I'm on Rover Down. And it's about 8 o'clock at night. I'm trying to find a flat spot here. This is my second consecutive night on Dartmoor, which is the first for me actually. I've never spent 2 nights out while camping, and it might be 3, who knows. Anyway, I'm on Rover Down, and this is night 2 of my little